All right, it is 9:31. I have one trade with TPTW, and this is my first experience with this stock, and I don't like it at all because this thing is trading with a super ugly spread, and I feel like if anybody wants to actually put their money in the stock, they shouldn't trade it with such an ugly spread. But I guess they are able to make the price move the way they want it to, just not a way that most people would be interested in. At least I think. But I was interested in this one. I did trade it for a morning panic bounce play. It's had two run up days right here, and the volume was decent. So I was in at 935 at 80. So that was right here at the top of this candle. Actually, right here at the wick. Why? Because it looked like it was going to immediately break past the downtrending trend line right here, and then immediately start the uptrend and make a move towards VWAP. And it did not end up being the case. What happened was is that a very large seller with I think 2 million or 1.5 million shares showed up at the ask, and that was super bad price action. That was like a big red flag. So I did get out of it quickly. Yeah, the same minute actually at 78. So right here, I was in here at 80 and I got out at 78 for that reason, thinking that that big seller could try to bully itself this price action here into the bottom and maybe even break the day low and continue to panic and follow the downtrending trend line again. So I was out for that reason, and then it was taken out in one piece, and I just hesitated on buying because it just traded like just all weird with the ugly price action and everything. But this had a very freaky spread, and this is what I'm talking about. The bid would stay at 78 and it would go up as high as 85, and that is kind of ridiculous. And it did break past VWAP. I've seen this setup many times, but this one was super ugly just because of the fact it trades with a really wide spread. But at least in theory, I was on the right track. I just got out because that big seller got in the way, and it got instantly taken out in one piece. So at least it played out. And if I get one that doesn't trade as ugly as this one, I might be actually profitable and you know more likely to put more money in setups like this. But yeah, I'll make an update as to what this does perhaps later. If it drops under VWAP and makes a higher low off of this level, I might consider it for like a higher low setup. That's pretty much it for right now. There isn't anything else that I'm interested in. Nothing that I see that looks really, ideal for a potential setup, but I'll keep looking. All right, it is 10:31 p.m. and I'm here to call it off. Overall, I'm gonna be down on the day just $4, and that was with TPTW on a setup that did work, but not exactly when I got in, because of the fact that there was that very, very, very large seller that appeared at the ask, which I don't regret. Leaving the trade for that reason, even though it worked out, because normally if it looks like a bottom is in for a morning panic bounce play, then a huge seller with a million, I think 1.5 million shares shows up at the ask. That could always break the day low, cause more panic, and then, make a whole nother leg down. My regret was not taking the trade once that big seller was taken out again, and then it did the uptrend, even though it was all ugly with a wide spread and everything. That could have been a setup that I could have been a part of. Same thing with NWBO the other day when it had like this sell off right here for a very long period of time. It did have like a very large bidder taken out at 88, and then they eventually made an uptrend as well with that same thing in mind. So, yeah, I think I'm gonna try to focus more on that and make that a reason that I get in this setup and be more aggressive if a big seller that is preventing the setup from ideally working out is taken out, especially in one piece. I need to be able to just pull the trigger very quickly, and then I can be a part of a setup that worked out like it did right here. It went as high as 87 from that potential buy when it was taken out, and I believe 80. So yeah, I could have been profitable in that sense. It did kind of come back a bit lower. I don't really see much of a setup right there that I would have in theory played out. This one wasn't too bad. It just really isn't that predictable to think that, it breaks this level right here and it shoots up the way it does. Other than the fact that it broke out and then it was also approaching the $1 level, that could have been a setup with this one, NWBO, but that was pretty much it. And maybe I guess a dip buy where it sells off and then it kind of breaks under $1 and then it eventually comes back. That's like a reversal setup. So maybe something with that. nothing with WLAN, nothing with CRTD, nothing with XCPL, and nothing with MMTOP. That's pretty much it. I just regret not pulling the trigger again when the big seller was taken out. Now I have two examples this week of that same price action and missing out a setup. So ideally, I don't do that again and take the L as well as the good lesson. That's it for today.